Ladies and gents, welcome back. Jordan Peterson is in the news today. It seems that his license to be a clinical psychologist is on the line because of things that he said on the internet. Now, they're policing political speech in Canada. And this it sounds like hyperbole, but this is actually what's happening. The College of Psychologists of Ontario are actually holding him in disciplinary actions because of things that he said on the internet, and his license to operate as a clinical psychologist may be on the line. Yesterday, as the news broke, I actually had Maxime Bernier on for an interview as this was happening. So I asked him about this exactly, and well, I'll show you just his response here, and then we'll get into the news of what actually happened. So I wanted to get into some contemporary news, some things that happened just today. This was a tweet that Jordan Peterson put out. So just, Max, I'd love to get your ideas on this. So Jordan Peterson put out breaking: the Ontario College of Psychologists, CP Ontario, has demanded that I submit myself to a mandatory social medical communication retraining. So social media communication and retraining with their experts for, among other crimes, retweeting Pierre Poilievre and criticizing Justin Trudeau and his political allies. He later deleted a tweet and then put out there that I have been accused of harming people, although none of the complaints were involved. Current actions were my clients, or past or present, and none of them were even acquainted with any of his clients. Do you have any comments on this new breaking story just from today?
Yeah, I just learned about it. I didn't know that. You just tell me that. I don't know what to say about that, but I like Jordan Peterson. He's a very. I was with him a couple of times. I did some. He was in Montreal a couple of years ago, and I was with him. And I don't know the details of that, but my reason and my heart is with Jordan Peterson, and I believe that he must be right. But we need to wait a little bit. But if Jordan tweeted that, there's something there, and I believe that Jordan is very professional. And that's maybe leftists that try to discredit him like they're doing to me. And you cannot have any debates in our society anymore. Look about Ukraine. What I'm telling you, I try to participate in the debate in the national media, but they don't want me to explain that position on Ukraine. It's all one narrative. So that's radical leftists that may have something against Jordan Peterson because he's so popular. So I don't know more details about it. I will follow that story for sure.
Yeah, it seems a lot like, the bureaucracies that are in place are being weaponized to go after people for political reasons. And that's pretty much what a lot of people's take on this has been, as much information as we know so far, but we don't know that much. And if you want to watch the rest of that interview, it'll be premiering at 9 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday this week. So check that out. And if it's after that day and you're watching this video, the link will be in the description down below. I did a bit more digging on this story, and it looks like Jordan Peterson, on his profile for the College of Psychologists of Ontario, it seems that there is a disciplinary action here. In a decision raised on November 22nd, 2022, the Inquiries and Complaints Report Committee decided that to require Dr. Jordan Peterson to successfully complete a prescribed specific continuing education or remedial program. The subsequent program is a coaching program to address issues regarding professionalism in public statements. Dr. Peterson has filed notice of application for judicial review within the Ontario Divisional Court. So I'm guessing this was issued to him on November 22nd. He's just getting to it now. He's a busy man, obviously. But yeah, so he put out that initial tweet, and then he had some follow-up tweets to clarify his position. Here he says, to clarify, it's been decided I either submit to social media communication retraining or face a disciplinary hearing and possible suspension of my clinical license and the right to represent myself as a psychologist. And this is in response to Elon Musk saying that this is extremely concerning. And I'd say this is very concerning. It'd be the equivalent of me losing my license to be a mechanic because of this channel, because of my political opinions on the internet. If they went after the industry training authority and had me re-educated so that I wouldn't have the opinions that I have in order to maintain my license to operate as a mechanic. These are separate issues, right? We live in a fair, free, open society, and if that is the case, then you can't use these licensing bodies in order to, well, go after people for their political opinions. He continued on after this to say, it's worse than you think in Canada, Elon Musk. Regulated professionals are now terrified into silence by their respective colleges. This means they are no longer able to say what they believe to be true, and who needs that from their lawyers, physicians, or psychologists? It's absolutely incredible. We have an article here from the Epoch Times about this, and they're talking about weaponized professionals, misconduct complaints. So this being a thing that's been happening lately, people, of course, going after people's jobs, their professional careers when they disagree with people politically and publicly in doing this. Peterson said the social justice warrior types have weaponized the domain of professional misconduct complaints. Bruce Pardy, executive director of the group Rights Probe, agreed, tweeting in response, professional regulators have become ideological. They increasingly seek to supervise political views and expression. In effect, to be progressive is to be neutral and reasonable, while to not be progressive will amount to professional misconduct. Rights Probe describes itself as promoting the classical liberal conception of individual rights and the rule of law. Party gave the example of the Law Society of Ontario, which sought to require lawyers and paralegals to state their embrace of diversity, inclusion, and equity policies. He said, we narrowly managed to repeal that. And that's insane. The idea that these political views would be pressed on you. It's reminiscent of the room where the main character of the story of 1984 was brought into a room to be re-educated about what 2 + 2 equals. And well, that we all know the results of that story, and that's really a tragedy of society today. But here we are. We have this story of Jordan Peterson and the College of Psychologists of Ontario being weaponized against him and his political opinions. But of course, well, what do we do from here? Well, we make it more public. We make this thing more public, and we're seeing pushes towards furthering these kinds of powers in these colleges. In British Columbia, we have Bill 36 that just passed through. And what they've done is they've actually taken the colleges of all the different doctors, so the College of Physicians, the College of Psychologists, all of these of British Columbia are no longer going to be peer groups, even though it seems the peer groups, like in Ontario, they can be weaponized against people politically. But moving forward in British Columbia, the actual board of the colleges will no longer be instated by vote from their peers. They'll be instated by political instatement. They'll be appointed by politicians, and this is again a move that we don't want. This is a move in the wrong direction, and it's only going to exacerbate situations like this, like Dr. Jordan Peterson is going through at the moment, which I don't believe he even lives in Canada at the moment. But of course, they can go after his license, and well, that's the way that is going. If you want to see more of the interview with Maxime Bernier, that'll be premiering at 9 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday evening. So check that out. I'll try to make sure to be in the chat myself with you as it's premiering. And this is the first, I think this is going to be the first of many premieres. I think we're going to try to continue premieres on Thursdays in the evening of conversations. We're going to do long form conversations with people and keep that coming week after week, including with the Friday night live stream getting back to the audience every week. So tune in for that. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think of this whole situation with Dr. Jordan Peterson and the College of Psychologists in Ontario and what's going on there. If this is your first time watching one of these videos, consider today subscribing to the channel. Hit that notification bell. It lets you know when I go live, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.